following without being forced. I've been an entrepreneur and a leader for many years, and I have made pretty much every single mistake a leader has ever made in their career. And if you really think about leadership, leadership is about getting people to do things they don't want to do. That's leadership. Leadership is about motivating and inspiring people to unleash their potential. That's leadership. But when I look at leadership, there are many different styles, different ways people I see that they're using to try to motivate their people to do something, right? I see it from motivating to try to inspire, to try to manipulate, to try to instill fear, to try to force them, to try to use their big title to get somebody who is maybe lower ranking than them and try to get them to do something that they might not want to do, to use incentive, some candies, motivation to get somebody to do something temporary. You know, over the last 2.5 decades, being a leader, being an entrepreneur, I have seen many different styles. And the ultimate goal, regardless of which style that you're using, the goal is to get people to do more, sell more, to achieve more, to get more, right? So that's the most authentic, practical way I'm explaining this whole thing. Whether you're trying to get somebody to do more for the company, to more for the team, to do more just for yourself, or to do more for them. It doesn't matter. The key word is what? To do more. While there are many different tactics to try to get people to do more, there are only few leaders who can get to the highest level of leadership where they no longer need to use any tactics, especially trying to force their people to do more. Now, how do you get to that level? Let me tell you the evolution of becoming the ultimate leader of all leaders, where your peers, your co-workers, the people that you're leading, or even your kids, or people that you have relationship with, they are willing to do something without you force them to do it. Now, when we first start having a relationship with someone, whether it's a coworker, whether it's a manager to an employee, whether it's a leader to a rookie, whether it's a coach to a student, when we first started a relationship, generally we started a relationship as buddy, friends, right? And I see a lot of managers, a lot of leaders, when they start to coach somebody, it's more of like a manager, more for like a friendship, right? You build friendship. Oh, you gotta be their friend. And they go out lunch together, they go out dinner together, they hang around all the time. Now, being somebody's friend, it's important, but at what point should they really become a friend? And should they also need to distance away themselves to gain what I call credibility and moral authority? That's the big difference, right? I see a lot of people, when they're trying to lead someone, immediately when they start to work with that individual, they're buddy already. So when you're buddy with somebody, meaning they hang out with you all the time, they go to dinner with you all the time, you guys play all the time, after work you go to karaoke together all the time, you just do so many things together all the time. It's very hard for me to go from this buddy level to the next level, if you really think about it, because there's no respect, right? They look at you as a friend, right? Look at you as a friend. And the best way I explain this is, you know, when your kid is from 0 to 5 to 6 years old, you talk to them because they don't really understand. You're talking to them, and then from like 6 to maybe like 11 to 12, before they turn teenagers, you train them, right? You discipline them, right? And then from 12 to maybe 18 years old, you coach them, right? You tell them what to do, what not to do. Here's the right thing, here's not the right thing to do. If you do this, these are the consequences. You cross the boundary, here's what's gonna happen. You teach them, a principle, values, and characters, right? And hopefully by 18, you teach your kids all of these value principles, and you train them the right way, and you make your own version of the mistake, and you correct your own style of parenting. When you're 18 and on, you become their friend, right? That's the ultimate goal. But what if today your son is at 9 years old and is not being disciplined, and you are already their friend? Whatever they want to do, you're okay with it because you're their friend. How do you think your kids are going to grow up? Think about that. It comes down to same thing with business and other areas, especially what I'm talking about today is the leadership, right? So I see so many leaders right off the get-go when they're leading somebody who's new, they became too close. They became their buddies, their close friends. They talk about their problems all day long. They share all their problems. So there's no moral authority. There's no respect over there, right? But we're all gonna go, by the way, we're all gonna go through that stage. I made those kind of, so-called mistakes. And that's why at the beginning of my career, I was not able to lead my guys in a great way. I was not able to lead my guys to unleash their potential because they were too close to me in a sense where there's no respect. There is no healthy type of fear. When I say healthy type of fear, it's like you're looking at a police officer, you have some kind of healthy fear. You're looking at somebody who's like an attorney, it's a healthy fear. You're looking at a judge, is a healthy fear. There's nothing wrong of having healthy fear among the people that you're leading because that's where you gain respect, right? So going from a buddy to the next level is becoming a trainer to these people you're leading. Right? So from a buddies, friends, you want to become a trainer. How do you become a trainer of somebody? The way you're going to become a trainer of someone, you got to know more than they do. So hopefully, whatever you're doing in the industry you're at the company you're at, you're trying to lead somebody, you got to know that subject. You got to know that arena, career, more than the people you're leading. So you got to read more books than they do, right? You got to, hopefully you make some mistakes and you're able to teach them how to avoid it and not make those mistakes and save them time. To become a trainer, your skill set has to be higher, right? If you're in sales, you're trying to lead somebody, you got to learn how to, handle objections. When this guy that you're trying to train, they might not know how to handle objections. So the bottom line is that you have to know more than they do and you're willing to train them. When you become a trainer of them, meaning you have more experience than they do. That's it. So now when you have more experience, what happened to the person that you're leading? They start to look up to you a little bit more, but that's still not enough, right? Because you still do not have what I call the ultimate respect and authority yet. So from a buddy, from a friend, you're going to study your industry, you're going to immerse yourself into a subject, a career that you're obsessed with, and ultimately you try to train the people that you're leading. Now, the third level is where you want to be at ultimately, is where you gain ultimate respect. Is that you graduate from a trainer to become a leader. Now, when does somebody call you a leader or consider you as a leader, not just by saying it, but inside their heart, they look at you as a leader? And I think the third level is where you want to be at least, is when you are able to outwork these people, meaning that they know that you work harder than they do. Because at the end, people judge you by your work ethic, your character, right? You got to be able to outwork these guys. And they know that no matter what, you're always in front of them. You're not just teaching them. Trainer teaches people, but leader showing people, right? And you are able to out-earn them, And let's say somebody at your job that you're trying to lead, let's say just in the line of business I'm in right now, I'm in sales, right? Life insurance sales. If I'm trying to lead somebody who make $100,000 a year. If I make $100,000 a year, it's hard for me to lead somebody who at the same level, right? But if I'm at $500,000 a year, I can lead that person, right? You want to be at least 3 to 5 times of that person's income. Now you're gaining respect. If you want to lead somebody make $1 million, you better be at $3 to $5 million. That's how it works. I mean, that's the most practical way I'm explaining to you how to become a leader. So you have to outwork them. You have to out-earn these people. And you have to be smarter when it comes to strategies, right? So meaning, if your peers come up to you and say, you know what, this is the situation I have, here's the crisis I'm facing, here's the situation I'm dealing with my organization that's like really giving me the biggest headache. What can you do as a leader to teach them how to strategize it and learn how to process this whole issue so they can resolve the issue quicker? So if you know how to do that, people will ultimately look at you as a leader. Now, the ultimate level where you can get your peers and the people who's willing to follow you without being forced, and they really want to do it, and you don't have to use any tactics, is when you get to a level where you have what I call total moral authority, total respect from your peer. Now, how do you get to a level where you have total moral authority and respect from the people that you're leading? Two ways. Number one, trust. If somebody trusts you, they are willing to do things on their own, right? How do you gain trust? By you, I'm talking about you, keeping your words years after years for a long period of time. Meaning, whatever you say is what you actually do. I'm not talking about just big things. I'm talking about every little things that come out from your mouth and what you promise your people, what you say to them, you're able to deliver for them. From the smallest thing to the biggest thing, if you're able to do that consistent for a long period of time, people are going to trust you and they're going to totally respect you. Now, is it easy to do? No, not at all. But can you get to that level where people actually believe in everything and trust everything you say? Yes. It took me many years to get to a level where anything that I say is automatically because I know I'm going to do it. Did it happen when I first started as a young rookie spanking entrepreneur in my early 20s? Absolutely not. So I'm just going to be very upfront and with you because it does take a lot of discipline and it takes you to evolve to become a leader of all leaders. And I know the best way to gain people to follow you without forcing them is that you have to keep your words. Now, the second one is the biggest. How do you get to a level where you have total respect and total moral authority? Is that you have to develop yourself, develop 3 to 4 to 5 people around you that you mentor, that you work with at your job, at your career, at your industry, whatever you're doing, that also have the same kind of success as you as the teacher. You follow what I'm saying? If it's just only you and nobody else you develop over the years, that's no examples, right? People have this saying, seeing is believing. If you're able to develop another 3 to 5 guys or girls in your organization, at your job, at your business, let's say you make $1 million, just an example. You have 4 to 5 guys that you develop can make $1 million. Now you have total respect and moral authority because people now start to say, man, this individual really does have the knowledge, experience, and wisdom, strategy to guide other people to get to those kind of income levels. Does it have to be 7 figures? No, I'm just giving you an example. It could be $500,000 at your line of business. It could be $300,000. Whatever the big income is for your particular industry. So if you got all that going, guess what? One day you're gonna have total respect. People trust you. You have total moral authority because people know that your time is very valuable, your experience is very valuable, and they want you to be the mentor without you saying that I want you to be the mentor. See, when I first started the business, I know one thing, even myself, everybody want to be a teacher to somebody because it make you feel good. But the ultimate level is that one day people seeking you as the mentor, seeking you as the teacher. You don't have to forcing yourself out there and say, hey, I want to mentor you, I want to teach you. See, that's a different ball game, different level, right? I don't know if you guys understand my message today. It's the highest level of leadership is going from just being friends to being a trainer, ultimately become a leader and leaders of all leaders, and ultimately gain total respect and moral authority. And you attract people, the right people especially, want to be around you, and they want to perform at the highest level because they don't want to disappoint you. So post a comment below. Let me know if you understand my message today, all right? Because the topic is following without being forced. And I went very deep in different directions, try to explain to you what the ultimate leadership should look like, but it's on you to decide which level you want to be at, okay? If you love my message, my video, post a comment below, subscribe to my YouTube channel, all right? And see you next time. Take care. JW here. If you like my content, comment below and download my JW Just Win app. See you next time.